we've all had some element of prasadam, I think, today. So, nobody's biting. So today we're going to explore, today's a very special occasion. I know every Sunday we make it sound like it's a very special occasion. So today is a special day called Bhadra Purnima, and Damodar Krishna Prabhu will speak a little bit more about it in a bit, and about the availability of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I will start by presenting a brief overview of Srimad Bhagavatam. I was thinking of, my name is Jaisacinandana Dasa. How many of you are here for the very first time? Anybody here? What's your name? Marilyn. Marilyn? Nice to meet you, Marilyn. Yeah, I know it may not seem familiar and etc., so you can definitely talk afterwards if you need explanation. So our format is to usually have a talk or a speech or a lecture, however you want to define it, where an individual sits up here and says something from our scriptures, and that goes to about 12:30, and then at 12:30 we have worship in the form, it's called Arthik, and then after that we honor prasadam, meaning we have a meal together. So it's like coming to somebody's home, having a discussion, welcoming the guest, that kind of thing. So if you have any questions, you can ask anyone here. Sripada Mataji is sitting there, and she's very capable of answering all these questions that come up for somebody who's come here for the first time. So I'm going to speak just briefly about the glories of the Bhagavatam. How many of you have read a portion of Bhagavatam, even a chapter or a verse? Okay, so a few, not everyone, and that's okay. How many of you have read the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody has read the Gita? Most people have read Gita. Okay. Have you read the Gita also, a little bit? Okay. So, we have what's called a canon, meaning a collection of scriptures. And just like in the Christian tradition, Jewish tradition, all world religions have a set of scriptures. And for us, the two main scriptures are the words that emanated from Bhagwan, God, Shri Krishna's lotus mouth, called the Bhagavad Gita, and words spoken about God Himself, and it's called Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll explore Srimad Bhagavatam, kind of like a brief overview. There are many things that can be said about this. Normally our format is speak about one verse, one statement for like 1 hour. We had that this morning, so you can imagine kind of the difficulty of presenting something that profound in 45 minutes or something like that. So bear with me. So what is the Srimad Bhagavatam? So Srimad Bhagavatam basically describes God, called Sri Krishna, our relationship with Him, and the process for realizing that relationship, meaning acting on something that we've heard. And it contains 18,000 verses, so it's expansive, but each verse by itself is very insightful and nectarian. So the verses give detailed accounts of Lord's names, the Lord's forms, nature, personality, His activities, what His devotees that love Him, what they do. So it's it's not vague. So the Vedas deal with many subjects, and they represent the work of a highly civilized, highly developed culture. And the Vedas include everything that it's possible to know, from something as small as the atom to something as great as the galaxy, and something as small as us and something as great as God. So in this vast literature, there's a scripture called the Srimad Bhagavatam. and it deals about subjects related to God. And Srimad is a Sanskrit word meaning Srimad, meaning beautiful or very opulent. And Bhagavata means that which is related to God. So essentially, in a kind of concise way, Srimad Bhagavatam is the beautiful story of God called Shri Krishna. And in the opening chapters, the narrator explains that a great saintly personality called Sri Vyasadeva wrote portions of the Vedic literature and was vast amounts of information. Vast amounts of information. There are 4 schools of Vedic thought or books, and there are very few who know the entirety of one book, because the book within it contains many sub-books. So, even though he had done such a tremendous feat of devotion, of writing something very profound, he felt unsatisfied, dissatisfied, in spite of his achievements. Almost like, if you come from Christian tradition, almost like the pastime of Jesus Christ contemplating the day before his crucifixion. Oh my God, why have you forsaken me? Even though he's the Son of God himself. Dhruv Prabhu, can you close that door? Today happens to be the first day, I think, of the Sunday school group, and so they're really excited, I think. So even great personalities sometimes feel a sense of emptiness. And great things come out of that sense of emptiness, because it's the seeker of truth that really relishes that sense of emptiness, because now they have space with themselves to understand very profound things. So he wrote portions of the Vedic literature and felt dissatisfied, despite all of his achievements. And under the order of his guru, Sri Narad Muni, he embarked on writing Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is considered the fruit of a tree of the Vedas. So the fruit contains, the essence of a tree. An orange, ripe orange from a tree will give you a sense of what that orange tree can accomplish. What is the nature of that tree? So, how is this book equal to the vast knowledge of the Vedas? As I described, the Vedas are a tremendous amount of literature, out of which scholars estimate about 7% is available in the current day and time. Sri Jiva Goswami corroborates this in Tattva Sandarbha. So in Bhagavad Gita it says, Sarvasya chaham hridayasana vishto matar smrita yanam upanicha vedaischa sarver aham eva vidyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. So it is Lord Krishna says to Sri Arjuna, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I'm to be known. Indeed, I'm the compiler of the Vedanta, and I'm the knower of the Vedas. And so Bhagavatam is considered unquestionably that book, that Purana is what it's called, that discloses the reality, everything in existence, and its relationship to God, Shri Krishna Bhagavan. So Shri Shukadev Goswami, who's the secondary speaker in a way of Bhagavatam, says that at the end of a time called Dwarp Yuga, I studied this great supplement of the Vedas called Srimad Bhagavatam from my father. So spiritual knowledge is handed from an elevated teacher to an elevated student, just like knowledge is throughout the material world. You go to learn computer science, you have to be qualified to learn it, and you have to have a qualified teacher. And if that applies in the material world, why not for a spiritual undertaking as well? So Sri Shukadev Goswami was the initial audience, and the initial speaker was Vyasadeva, the one who was lamenting that he has created the entire Vedas, the Vedanta Sutras, etc., yet feeling dissatisfaction on the instruction of Srinad Muni, he compiles the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he speaks it to his son, Sri Shukadev Goswami. So the importance, Bhagavatam itself, sometimes in our scriptures, the scriptures themselves will glorify with the content of what's within them, but there's corroborating scriptures that the acharyas, the spiritual teachers, have used to demonstrate the validity of Bhagavatam's claims. And if you're interested in exploring that, the proof in depth, I encourage you to look at Sri Jiva Goswami's Tattva Sandarbha, where he has incredible number of references actually proving that what the Bhagavatam is saying about itself is indeed correct. So it says in Bhagavatam, very famous verse 3 in Canto, the first volume, chapter 1, O knowers of rasa, O fortunate souls, constantly drink from the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami the Srimad Bhagavatam, the fruit of the tree of the Vedas, which is dropped from the tree to this earth, which is immortal, liquid, and has the essence of sweetness and gives all types of liberation. So the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam demonstrates the value of the tree of the Vedas, and it's more, because it's a fruit, it's more palatable and more tasteful than eating the leaves of the mango tree. So anyone who's developed a taste for hearing and reciting and singing the Srimad Bhagavatam cannot relish, can have difficulty relishing other scriptures. It's like for people who have a taste for sweets, like desserts, and they know there's going to come something nice, like a cake or ice cream at the end. You know this if you've had kids. Anything that comes before that is like just filler. It doesn't do the trick, because they're all waiting for that relishment that they have. So it's not only equal to the Vedas, it's the ripened fruit of all scriptural knowledge. And therefore it is most tasteful and relishable. So this Bhagavatam was compiled by Sri Vyasadeva, as I mentioned. It is sufficient in itself for God realization. God realization means understanding who is God, who am I, and what is my relationship with God. What is the need for any other scripture? So as soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, notice there's a word called culture. It's done with some respect for the speaker and for the audience and for the subject matter. Bhagwan, God, is established within one's heart. So contextually, Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken shortly after Lord Krishna, God, departed from earth, and explains the science of God in detail, including creation, activities, the path to come to a relationship with God, and the lives of his great saintly devotees. This is definition of all Puranas need to have this set of criteria. And now the Vedas cover everything necessary for all human beings in all cultures to understand. The Srimad Bhagavatam is focused like a laser beam to the purpose of awakening love, Krishna Prem. That is its purpose. Because why? Because God is the substance behind all things in this universe and in the spiritual world. And since Srimad Bhagavatam deals exclusively with and exhaustively with God, Sri Krishna, one can know the substance of everything in the world by reading these books. So that's why there's great potency in this literature. So the history of Bhagavatam, So Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled many times, but principally twice. First, as one of the 18 Puranas, it's stated that Sri Vyasadeva compiled it before the Mahabharata. Later, the Srimad Bhagavatam that we have access to today, with the help of Sri Shukadev Goswami and Sri Sut Goswami, is what we have on the altar sitting there. So the narrators of Srimad Bhagavatam include Sri Vyasadeva, Sri Shukadev Goswami and Sri Suta Goswami, but also they include commentators of Bhagavatam. The tradition of the Vedas and Bhagavatam is that the literature was meant to be recited and heard. And therefore, clearly, commentators have recited it and elaborated on its meanings. For many generations, by very many powerful spiritual teachers, including His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. But it started with Sri Vyasadeva himself. So, initially, as I mentioned, Vyasadeva, the original author, was dissatisfied, even though he wrote prolific literature. So his spiritual master, his guru, his teacher, Narad Muni, appeared and kind of corrected him and chastised him that, why are you feeling this sense of emptiness? Maybe you spoke on topics that had no relationship to glorifying God, Krishna. And as a result of that instruction, Vyasadeva proceeded to compile the second version of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is expanded from the original Purana that was written in relationship to the Mahabharata. So, and then Vyasadeva spoke it to his son, Sri Sukdev Goswami, who then explained it to Parikshit Maharaj. Right? So, as a point I was making is, because we're in the material world and our understanding is limited, our understanding of spiritual knowledge is theoretical. We read it, somebody tells it to us, but it's theoretical. But we can't directly perceive it. It's like, say, I'll just speak from my own profession. I'm a physician, so I can read stuff in the books, but to actually know it, you have to do it. You have to experience it. Otherwise, it's theoretical knowledge. It's not applied knowledge. So we can study the pastimes or the stories of Sri Krishna and Vrindavan, but we can't directly see those pastimes, right? We can watch videos of it. We can read about it, but we cannot directly perceive it. But very advanced souls, self-realized tattva darshanas, they're connected to spiritual world, spiritual reality, so they can directly see these pastimes, and this is called samadhi darshan. So when Shukadev Goswami received Srimad Bhagavatam from Sri Vyasadeva, he not only received a set of verses, like we'll get here if we obtain the book, but he received the direct vision of the pastimes from his father, Vyasadeva. And when he sat to narrate the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, he didn't just repeat the verses that Sri Vyasadeva compiled, but he directly described pastimes based on his own spiritual vision as a direct witness. This is stated in Canto 12. And this is explored by G. Goswami in Tattva Sandarbha. So both Vyasadeva and Narad Muni, very elevated teachers, the grandfather teacher and then the father teacher, are there when the son, Shukadev Goswami, is reciting the literature. And both became amazed on hearing it as if for the very first time. Why? Because they're experiencing the direct realization of Shukadev Goswami, even though even Purusharam, Bhagwan, is sitting there as well. So Shuka means parrot, and it's described when a parrot bites a mango, it becomes even sweeter than original. It's like when you get mango, if you just kind of massage it. Nowadays people massage kale. When I first heard about that, I said, massaging kale. Okay, it's kind of like a green leafy vegetables. What juice are you going to get out of that? But people at times would massage mangoes to make them kind of more mushy and soft, and you could just squeeze the juice, right? So Shukadeva Goswami, like a parrot, made the Bhagavatam sweeter by his realization, narration. And Sutta Goswami, so another individual, was present, and he narrated this same conversation to a collection of saintly personalities in the form all the way from the 1st to the 12th canto. So the final version of Bhagavatam that we have has been commented upon by many insightful, realized, and pure-hearted souls called acharyas, and it's culminated with a commentary of Srila Prabhupada, which is there on the altar. So we can directly associate with these individuals by opening this book and reading the verse. And we can understand that we were not the first ones to read this. This has been read throughout the centuries and millennium by great souls and personalities, and been a source of great bliss for them and understanding. Shri Jaisacinandana ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Lakshmi Narasimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. So okay, you get the book, and then what do? So there's a process to reading and hearing it. So it says in Bhagavatam, I'll just read the English for sake of time. Those persons who are materially engrossed, meaning those of us that are in the material world, which is, this body is proof that we're materially engrossed. Being blind to the knowledge of the ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. So the speaker that Shukadeva Goswami was speaking to, or the audience that Shukadeva Goswami was speaking to, was a king by the name of Parikshit Maharaj. And he had very little time left to live. And so he asked a question, what would give supreme benefit in this life for one who's about to die? How many of us are about to die? How many? Raise your hand. Sorry. How many? Everyone. Sorry to break that honest truth onto everybody. We just had the pastime of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day on Friday. And if you read Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajan, he's actually looking forward to materially dying so he can assist in the spiritual world. How many people think of that? People are planning for now. They're not planning for what they're going to do after this life. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, such an acharya, planning for life after this. So King Parikshit Maharaj had very little time. And so he asked, what's the ultimate benefit? What should I be doing? What should I be hearing before I die? And so Shukadeva Goswami was very happy to hear this question. And he said, this is the only question that everyone should be searching for the answer for, because it's relevant for everybody. There's a very famous motivational speaker called Tony Robbins. Has anybody heard of Tony Robbins? Some of you, right? So Tony Robbins says, the quality of a person is determined by the quality of the questions they ask. So the quality of questions we ask reveals who we are and what is important to us. You can see that. Very profound statement, right? Giriraj Swami was recollecting that at a time when he was at a park in San Francisco, and he was listening to these two ladies sitting on a park bench, and they're listening to a bird tweeting, and one person saying, what bird could that be? And the other person, I don't know, maybe this bird. And Giriraj Swami was sitting there, and he was thinking afterward, my God, what does that have to do with, the purpose of your life here? So he recollected Tony Robbins there. So hearing is considered the most highly regarded means of understanding anything. After all, we all had a mother, and the mother is the one who whispered to us, "This is your father." Without that, we would not have known. So hearing is the gateway to liberation, is what the Vedas say. So Vedic scriptures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, glorify the importance of hearing divine sound to achieve the highest spiritual elevation. Just as someone can be aroused by a sound, right? Some people say, "Oh, my sleep is very weak. I can get disturbed by any sound, anything, any drop of water, etc. It disturbs me." A person who's spiritually asleep in deep slumber of material happiness and maybe some level of very limited scope of vision, that person can be woken up by sound itself. It can wake that person up better than anything else. So that's why hearing is so important for everyone. And then it says, that very Srimad Bhagavatam I shall recite before you because you're the most sincere devotee of Sri Krishna. One who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, God, the giver of salvation. So Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 1 says, faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. Because we have to place our trust in something to have a guidance in our spiritual path. And that can only be given by one's spiritual teacher and by the scriptures. So that's why Shukadeva Goswami says, that very same Srimad Bhagavatam I shall recite before you because you're the most sincere devotee and capable of giving full attention and respect. Why? Because when you know your time's about up, then everything else becomes very secondary. So like I take care of people who have cancer. So when they find out they have cancer, all the other trivialities of life become like tertiary, way down in the list. They're not number one, number two, number three. So Parikshit Maharaj had a death notice, but he was very qualified to begin with. But for us, the example is, that you have to have sincerity in hearing. Srila Prabhupada in his purport says, a devotee of Sri Krishna is he who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual. This teaching is imparted by Sri Krishna himself in the Gita, in which is clearly described by Lord that Sri Krishna is everything, and that to surrender unto him makes one perfectly pious person. And Srila Prabhupada continues, this unflinching faith in Sri Krishna prepares one to become a student of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we must surrender to hear the Bhagavatam. And we must hear in a very sincere manner. And one who hears Srimad Bhagavatam from a devotee like Shukadeva Goswami is sure to attain salvation at the end, as did Maharaj Parikshit. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it says, Srimad Bhagavatam is great as Krishna himself, the Supreme Lord and shelter of everything. And each and every verse and syllable of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are multifaceted meanings for it as infinite as Sri Krishna. One verse. One verse. In our small Srimad Bhagavatam group, we spent 1 year reading one chapter of Bhagavatam. 1 year reading one chapter. So the depth of what one can glean from just one verse is immense. But one has to surrender to the process and be sincere in hearing it. It's non-different from Sri Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Sri Krishna. Bhagavatam is about Sri Krishna, God and His loving devotees. And also those that are not such nice persons, because they're part of creation. So Bhagavatam says, this Bhagavad Purana is brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Sri Krishna to his abode, the spiritual world, accompanied by religion and knowledge. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in this age shall get light from this Purana. Sri Goswami, who is a commentator on the Bhagavatam, says, it cannot be compared to any other scripture. Why? Because it's a form of Krishna himself, a form of God himself, along with his pastimes, knowledge of God, and bhakti, the relationship between us and God. So he says other scriptures may be compared to lamps, but Bhagavatam is like the sun. It is a form of Krishna and it reveals bhakti. So though the sun apparently if Krishna has set to our material eyes, Krishna has disappeared. He has not died. God does not die. He appears and disappears. Just like Jesus Christ, when he was crucified, did not die. He passed away from the vision of his dear associates, but he's eternally present. And Lord Krishna, of course, being the Father, is eternally present. But in his material absence, to those of us that are devoid of spiritual vision, the Bhagavad Purana has arisen. And it is a form of the sun. Indeed, it will become the sun, is what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says. This verse, he says, the Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, because the sun is God, by symbol. And the sun disappears from our vision. But the sun that's remaining, S-U-N, not S-O-N, is remaining is Bhagavatam, and it will become like the sun. So it is great as Krishna and the shelter of every being. And here's another thing, wonderful statement in Chaitanya Bhagavat itself, which is beautiful writing by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of the highest goal of life, devotional service, divine love of Krishna. According to all the Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the very form of divine love. The four Vedas are like yogurt, but Srimad Bhagavatam is like butter. The churner of this butter, meaning the person who's churning the milk, making butter, is Shukdev Goswami, and the eater of the butter is none other than Prakshit Maharaj. So in each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, and each and every syllable, there are various meanings. And we can see that once we explore the commentaries of the Acharyas. And in particular, it is especially dear to Vaishnavas, those that hold Lord Sri Krishna as everything in their life. Those that hold Lord Krishna as everything in their life. So it's very dear to them. Bhagavatam itself says in the very last chapter in Canto 12, chapter 13 goes to verse 24. So the last set of verses, it says, when carefully studied, heard, and understood again and again, it opens the door to pure devotion, which one never returns to illusion. No more anadi avidya. So it's not just dry knowledge, knowledge for knowledge's sake. There's a beautiful verse in an Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad. So Taittiriya Upanishad is part of the Yajurveda, and it's spoken by a great sage called Yajnavalkya. And his spiritual master, who was the direct disciple of Vyasadeva, came to him and said, tell me everything you know about spiritual life. And so he recited this verse, Rasa Vaisaha Rasam Yavam Laban labada anadi bhavati. Sri Krishna is the embodiment of all ecstatic bliss. He is the reservoir of all pleasure. Having derived ecstasy from him, the individual souls become blissful. So, raso vaisaha. He is rasa. So what is being identified as the Supreme Being, God, Bhagwan, as the ultimate reality is actually the embodiment of bliss, ananda, happy, tremendous happiness as its essence. That God, Sri Krishna, Bhagwan, is the source, like fountainhead, as Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj coined that term, the fountainhead of all rasa. Rasa means that sweet, ecstatic, experiential happiness of a relationship. Like in the material world, when you go to see a play, how many of you have seen a play? Anyone here has gone to see a play? Not many. How many have gone seen a movie? Come on, you can be honest. Yeah. So play is a little bit different because play, the relationship between the actor and the audience becomes very intimate. And so the experience becomes very, very intimate and powerful. And the original theory of rasa was written by Bharat Muni, and it described the Natya Shastra, the dramas, and how to recreate that experiential rapture is what would be called in Western tradition. So rasa is spiritual rapture of relationship with God. So rasa vaisaha, that God, Krishna, Bhagwan, is the essence of rasa. And then it says, rasam hi evayam labdva. Upon attaining this rasa, meaning that one cannot automatically experience it. It must be gained or realized through practice and understanding. By reeling this rasa within God Himself, one attains bliss and joy oneself. Anadi bhavati. Anadi bhavati. So the individual becomes blissful by realizing the bliss of God. Because the us, we're seekers. We're seekers of bliss, happiness. Everything that we do in this world is to seek happiness. Our relationships with our families, our employers, our friends, is to get happiness. And so our happiness upon connecting with the divine spiritual reality becomes filled with the same bliss, the ananda, that God Himself experiences. That's what the Bhagavatam is saying. And the Upanishad continues, he says, for who indeed could breathe, who could be alive if this blissful... That's what the Bhagavatam is saying. And the Upanishad continues, he says, for who indeed could breathe, who could be alive if this blissful Lord were not present within the heart of all souls? Because He bestows excellence. Is something called Rasa Sastra. Naganam kalpataror galitam phalam. This very famous verse, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasa Avalyam. Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhuvika. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukdev Goswami, therefore this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all. So Sri Jiva Goswami comments on this in Tattva Sandarbha. He says, the Vedas, Puranas, and Kavyas instruct one like a master, a friend, or a beloved. But Srimad Bhagavatam instructs like all three, both as a master and like a friend, as one's beloved. So it's a Rasa Shastra. It's not just some mundane book. So I'll end with this because Damodar Krishna Prabhu has something exciting to share with you. So I tried to speak about the tattva, or the philosophical basis of Bhagavatam being the essence of all the Vedas and the essence of all instruction for all living beings, and the means of developing Krishna Prem, Krishna Priti, love for God within everybody's life. So Bhagavatam is not a book that you go through. Bhagavatam is a life's program. And it's embarking, when we pick up the Bhagavatam and read it sincerely and listen to it sincerely, we're embarking on a spiritual journey. I don't want to reduce something that can give the greatest gift possible to any being that they've ever had in their immeasurable lifetimes in the material world to something mundane. But some practical things that you will notice if we hear and read Bhagavatam sincerely is how to triumph over adversity. Because Bhagavatam is filled with philosophical truths, but philosophical truths as exemplified by the lives of great saintly personalities as well as great demonic personalities. How to convert misfortune to fortune. Through the stories of, Narad Muni, Parikshit Maharaj, Vidur, lots of misfortune there. The scripture can transform an adversity into an impetus for spiritual growth. Parikshit Maharaj being told that you're cursed to die within a week. It was his impetus to take adversity and make it spiritual growth. Dhruva was instructed that you're not my favorite queen's son, get off my lap. Adversity, rejected as a prince. Impetus to go into spiritual growth. Vidur, rejected by the princely court of Hastinapur, decided to go on a pilgrimage and went to see great sadhus and reaffirmed his relationship with the Lord. It's a practical guide for navigating our modern day complexities. We all have it because it's filled with insight and experience of great personalities. It can also help us navigate distractions and cultivate this devotion, becoming serious, sincere, staying alert to avoid distractions, coming out of our comfort zone. Coming out of our comfort zone. We like comfort zone. Equilibrium is good. Disequilibrium is not so good. Because reading Bhagavatam is meant to fuel our desire for practicing bhakti. It's not just meant as information. It's like, why do you read Ramayana? You read it to fuel your Ram bhakti. Otherwise, it's just a book. Fueling bhakti, aiming for earnestness, sincerity, and being alert for potential distractions that will occur in material life. You can see this in the experience of Bharat Maharaj, saintly personality, growing up in a kingdom where he's loved by his father, practicing devotion, goes out on his own, finds attraction and compassion for a baby deer. At the end of his life, he apparently remembers that. You can see this in the example of people in this current age. We're surrounded with much simpler, much more mundane distractions, the cell phone, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you call it. So Bhagavatam helps us navigate those distractions by sincerity. We can see this in the example of Ajmil, who, even though he had a good birth, good family, good deeds, he became astray. So every one of us has a choice between distractions and honest devotional service. And so regular, like the previous verse said, the regular and systematic study of Bhagavatam inspires us to engage in devotional service honestly. And emotional mastery, how to control one's lower nature, learning to forgive. Anger control, right? People have problems with anger. Anger control. Right? Look at Durvas Muni. Big time anger problem from pride. But learning how to control anger, at least temporarily. Forgiveness. Look at Draupadi's response to Ashwatthama killing all 5 of her sons. Please forgive him and spare his life because he's the son of our spiritual master. Advocating tolerance in the face of envy. Envy is so common in this world. We have political leaders throughout the world that, countries, societies, people, just, that envy each other. Envy is not a good quality. Chitraketu Maharaj is described in Bhagavatam. He was a great king with many wives. And he finally, through the help of sadhus, Hare Krishna, he had a son. And what is the name of the son? What is the name of the son? Harsha Shoka. What does that mean? Happiness and lament. And the king was so happy, and the other queens, because of the envy of the principal queen's happiness, poisoned the son. Is that adversity? Yes. So he had to learn how to tolerate that. So, we should seek knowledge, read Bhagavatam under Guru's or spiritual master's instructions, and read it with some sincerity and regularity of how to apply it in our lives. So Bhagavatam can help us overcome adversity, help with distractions, and gain control of our emotions. Because you can see that these qualities are present even in great souls in the days of past. And somehow they overcame them through situations that would not lend themselves to be resolved without some deep soul searching. Okay? I'll stop. Thank you very much for hearing. I was contemplating how to speak about the importance of Bhagavatam and the essence of Bhagavatam in 1 hour, 45, 50 minutes. And it's very hard because just one verse is filled with so much brilliance and so much rasa, sweetness, that you cannot hold yourself back from it. So thanks for tolerating. We can save questions for after Prabhu, you will speak. Damodar Krishna Prabhu can come here and he'll show slideshow for today about the special occasion. Do you want to plug in your laptop or do it through the temple's laptop? Okay, so come sit. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premranti Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. First of all, I am very grateful to be here for this service by the blessings of the temple authority, His Grace Jaisacinandana Prabhu, His Grace Param Karuna Prabhu, and His Grace Vidag Madhav Prabhu, who not just helped in facilitating this Bhadra Purnima camping, but also encouraging and being a part of this Bhadra Purnima camping. So I'm very grateful to all three of them. Secondly, I am also very grateful to each one of you that you are allowing me to speak on the glories of all glorious Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is already glorious, and then you are all allowing me to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam little bit. So I'm very grateful to each one of you. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank Srila Prabhupada, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So as we learned from His Grace Jaisacinandana Prabhu, as we learned from His Grace Jaisacinandana Prabhu, that Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is described as the crest jewel. You can see the crest jewel of all the Vedic literatures that are there around. And it's not me, but it's all the great acharyas, all the mahatmas, all the sadhus. They actually say this after contemplating on different shastras and all. After contemplating on them, they actually finally concluding that Srimad Bhagavatam is the crest jewel of all the Vedic literatures. So Krishna incarnates in various forms. Like in Kali Yuga, an example is the holy name of the Lord. The holy name of Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna himself are non-different. Like in this relative world, we experience the name and the person, or the name or the name that is it's representing. For example, water. Now if I say water, 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 if I chant water, it won't going to help me if I'm thirsty, right? But in the spiritual realm, it is absolute. Like if you chant the name of Lord Krishna, it is just like associating with Lord Krishna himself. So that is an example of absolute realm. Srimad Bhagavatam is similarly considered as the incarnation, Lord Krishna's incarnation. So having Srimad Bhagavatam is like actually having Lord Krishna with you. And when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, actually you are associating with Lord Krishna. It is completely non-different. It is little difficult to experience this because we are living in a relative world where we are seeing everything as different from its name. But in the spiritual realm, it is absolute. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Sri Krishna. So, and it is considered as the crest jewel or king of all knowledge. So we heard from Jaisacinandana Prabhu this shloka, but let us go into this shloka again and get a little deeper into it. This is from Canto 1, Chapter 1, Shloka 3. Okay? So let's do it together. I'll do and then you can repeat after me, okay? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam. Nigam Shuka mukhad amrita drava samyutam. Pibata bhagavatam rasam malayam. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So this shloka describes the sweetness of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is very sweet because it consists of the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, a sincere hearer can relish and be joyful if he is hearing it sincerely. So if a hearer is sincere, he can actually relish and be ecstatic in this world of suffering, even just after reading it carefully. So it's saying, if all the Vedic literatures are considered as desire tree, you know what is desire tree? Which can fulfill all the desires. So if all the Vedic literature, because Vedic literature consists of everything, there are many different kinds of Vedic literature and it consists of all the things. So if those Vedic literatures are considered as what? Kalpatarur. Kalpatarur means the desire tree. So Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as Galitam Phalam. Means the Galitam means the mature, like ripened fruit of that Vedic knowledge. So that is what the first line means. Nigam Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. Means, Nigam means Vedic knowledge. Kalpataror means desire tree. Shri Jaisacinandana Bhagwan ki jai. So if all the Vedic literature are considered as the desire tree, Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the ripened fruit of that desire tree. And phalam, what is the meaning of phal? Phal means fruit, and galitam means the ripened fruit of that Vedic knowledge. Shuka, mukhad, amrita drava samyutam. So you see, like when the fruit is completely ripened, and if a parrot goes to that fruit, right, and bites that fruit, it becomes even more sweet. So Srimad Bhagavatam, which is filled with the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, when it is spoken by a person who actually loves Krishna, it becomes even more sweet. You see, we were discussing this example yesterday. Lord Krishna loves to steal butter from Motherly Gopi's house. When he goes to Motherly Gopi's house, he takes the butter and he steals it. And it would look like Motherly Gopis would get very angry, but internally they would be very happy. In fact, they would be doing all their activities like preparing ghee, yogurt, all for the pleasure of the Lord. So they would think that, okay, Krishna would come and steal the butter. So externally it was looking like they were getting angry, but actually that was their desire, that Krishna should come and take this butter. Later, they would go to Mother Yashoda and complain about this naughty boy. Right? So externally it would seem like, oh, this is naughty boy, we are just complaining about him, but internally acharyas explain it is not that they are just complaining about Lord Krishna. What was happening was, see, Lord Krishna won't do mischiefs in his house, right? So he would go to other gopis' house and do the mischiefs because it is his house. If he wants to eat butter, he can just take it. No one do mischief at their house. If they want something, they can just have it. But Lord Krishna would go to other cowherd gopis' house and he would steal the butter. So gopis would think, maybe Mother Yashoda won't be able to see all these activities of Lord Krishna. Therefore, their intention was to tell Mother Yashoda about all these nice nectarian pastimes of Lord Krishna. Mother Yashoda would hear it and she would also seemingly get angry, but actually she would also not be angry with Lord. It is difficult to experience, right? I can tell you an example from my own experience. When I would go to office, come back, my wife, recently we had a daughter. So my wife would complain about the daughter. You know what your daughter was doing today? She was doing this mischief. She was not eating. And I would be like, oh, you were not eating? Like externally I would seem like I am getting angry, but my love would increase with that exchange. Similarly, so my wife loved my daughter and my love would increase because of that. Similarly, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a person who already loved Lord Krishna, it becomes even more sweet. Shuka Mukhad. Shukmukha means Shukdev Goswami speaking from his mouth. Drava Samyutam. It becomes more relishable. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Now, can you imagine any fruit that can be drunk? Like we were talking about a fruit, right? Now, Srila Vedvyasji is saying that Pibata, drink that fruit. So, if you think of an example, sorry, I forgot to change my slides. Okay, right here. So if you think of this fruit, like mango, there is obstruction in enjoying the mango, right? There's a peel outside, so you can't eat mango directly. And then when you start eating the mango, there is a seed inside, so you can't actually enjoy mango like that. But Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't have any obstruction. You just have to take that mango, which is without seed and without any layer, and you just have to eat it. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is, you just have to take it and read it. So it's just, the thing that we have to do is just take it and relish it. So, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam. It gives the topmost rasa like that, if we just relish Srimad Bhagavatam in that way. Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Muhur means always. So why not relish that fruit which doesn't have any obstruction, doesn't have any seed? Why not relish that fruit? Muhur aho. So Srila Vedvyas is saying now, oh, it's so happy to share this fruit with us. So this is like an invitation to all of us. Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka. Now who is Rasika? So Rasik Jans are those people. So you see, our society is divided into different type of people, different quality of people. Rasik Jans are those who are already self-realized. They are already liberated. That means they are not attracted to any of the material things. They will not be attracted to any of the material things. But Krishna's qualities are so sweet that they are attracted to Krishna's quality. And therefore they would be relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. So those are called Rasika Jan. Got it? Those are Rasik Jans. So Vedvyaji is saying, if Rasik Jans who are not attracted to any of the material things relish this fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam, why not all of others? So he's like inviting all the other people, like all the great thinkers. You could be an engineer, you could be a great doctor, or you could be a homemaker, or you could be a child. All of you can relish Srimad Bhagavatam in that way. So this is an open invitation to all of us from the great Acharya who actually assimilated this, who actually wrote this Srimad Bhagavatam. And then there are people, then the third class of people are who are actually grossly engrossed in material activities. They are interested in, for example, they are grossly interested in politics. So Prabhupada says in the purport that topic also you can find in Srimad Bhagavatam. So those people who are grossly engrossed in material activities, they will also relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? Another example that Prabhupada gives is there are so many novels in the market today, right? Love affair between girls and boys. So even that topic you can find in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that lust gets converted into love of God. When a person relishes Srimad Bhagavatam and he reads 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a Krishna book given. When he relishes that lust gets converted into love of God. So that is the effect of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are getting invited by Srila Vedvyas ji. Okay? So now, all the great acharyas wanting to give us this Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada challenges. So he took a great deal of challenge in 1960s, 70s to bring this Srimad Bhagavatam to United States. There was great challenges. You know, he started from India and he wanted to come to United States. He did not come by a cruise ship. He came by a, do you know that Jaladuta? Do you know about that ship? It is a, what's that ship called? Cargo ship. And it is not at all luxurious. It doesn't have a nice bed. And it was a 30 days trip. And on the way, he got a heart attacks too. Today is the day when Srila Prabhupada actually got awarded with sannyas. So Srila Prabhupada and all the great acharyas, it's not that Srila Prabhupada want to distribute these Srimad Bhagavatam to everyone. It is the invitation of the great acharya, Srila Shukdev Goswami as well, and all the disciplic succession. All the great acharyas wanting us to, so it is the responsibility of each one of us to actually make sure that Srimad Bhagavatam goes in the hand of each one of the other living entity. That is how the Bhavishwani, or like the prediction of Lord becomes true. What was Lord prediction? Prithvi te achi yata nagar adigam sarvatra prachar haive moranam. That means in every town and village, my name will be preached and sung. How will his name be preached and sung if Srimad Bhagavatam won't be there in each one of our hand? So, Srila Prabhupada took great deal of challenge. If there's another mic, maybe I wanted someone from us can read like one comments from Srila Prabhupada. That would be nice. Maybe a little louder and we can discuss.
Hare Krishna. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do with me whatever you like, but I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place?
My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind to this useless soul. Is Prabhupada useless soul? He is the most useful soul of this millennia. But he is saying he is useless because he is in humility. He is doing this great service. See, everyone comes to America to get something, right? But actually he came to America to give something. He came to America to give Srimad Bhagavatam. No one comes here to give something Everyone comes here to take something. But here Srila Prabhupada, why he is a great soul? Because he wanted something good. That thing, that Srimad Bhagavatam, which all the great acharyas wanted to spread all over the world, Srila Prabhupada is coming to United States to distribute it to all the people. Let me read this one. During the voyage, I had 2 heart attacks. I was thinking, now I shall die. So Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling, he had 2 heart attacks. And he was thinking, now I shall die. He wrote that in the diary. And then this is recollected by his disciples. They are saying that Srila Prabhupada was sharing with them. But I thought, at least I have brought these books, Srimad Bhagavatam, with me. If I die, someone may take them and distribute it. So it was so ardent desire of Srila Prabhupada that he was thinking, even if I die, it doesn't matter, because I have this Srimad Bhagavatam with me. So if I die, that Srimad Bhagavatam should go to the other people. So that was his desire. Next, if someone wants to.
I was simply depending on Krishna. I had no strength. I was old. I had heart trouble. But I thought I must deliver this message of Srimad Bhagavatam somehow or other.
So this is in conversation with his disciples. Srila Prabhupada is saying that he wants to see Srimad Bhagavatam distributed all over the world. You can see right here. He wanted Srimad Bhagavatam to be distributed. And then it is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada now. Each one of us sitting in this room, it is because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It is because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that this temple came like in front of us, and then Jaisacinandana came here, right? Srimad Bhagavatam came to United States. So it is the, don't know what happened. Yeah. So it is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we have this temple. Srila Prabhupada is requesting all of us to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. I think there's one more. Okay, I can. Okay. So yeah, you can see here what Srila Prabhupada, this is from the Srila Prabhupada lecture, New York, 1966, in the morning walks. He's saying, I did not come here for my health. So Srila Prabhupada, so mostly people come here for health. I think so. Like we have such great doctors here. They are great surgeons, cancer specialists. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, I did not come here for my health. I came here with risk, with 2 heart attacks. I came here with only 40 rupees. And my books that's all. But Krishna has made all the arrangements. So 40 rupees, even the students who comes here for study, they also won't come with 40 rupees. Srila Prabhupada was very happy in Vrindavan Dham. It is the desire of all the people, all the devotees of Lord Sri Krishna, that they would go to Vrindavan Dham and chant Lord Krishna's name. He was very happy over there. But still he came to United States. And he had so much of trouble. He had heart attacks. But he's saying, but Lord Krishna made all the arrangement. And then last thing was, so these are the 3 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam that Srila Prabhupada got from India that time. It's from the room conversation. It's saying, the only thing that I was carrying were my volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. I had nothing else. That was my real wealth. And I was sure that by this wealth, I could give the greatest benefit to the Western world. So, yeah. So today is Bhadra Purnima. Now in this Srimad Bhagavatam only it is said, if on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on a golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. So this is given in the 12th canto, 13th chapter and 13th verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So today is that day. So be bold, take the first step. Today is Bhagavatam set over there. And today is that day where you can gift it to some of your friends. I have a small video over here. We will watch that and then we can talk a little bit more on the last slide.
So after establishing 3 parts, Srimad Bhagavatam, then automatically Guru Maharaj gave me indication that now you can start for analysis.
Are you crazy? The old man, you are going to die. Who will look after you? What will you do then?
At the age of 70 years, for 1 year I had no place to live. I took some of my books, Srimad Bhagavatam, and I was personally selling these books to the booksellers and to the persons anyway, with great difficulty. New York is a very expensive city for an adult man.
And we're conducting the Bhadra Purnima campaign, that is, all of us, all over the world, from the top down and from the bottom up. And I'm humbly requesting everyone to take this opportunity, which is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, to be so rewarding that by distributing one Bhagavatam set on Bhadra Purnima, one gets the benefit of going back to the Supreme Abode. Please distribute at least one Srimad Bhagavatam set for Bhadra Purnima, and either sponsor one, buy one for yourself, get one for your friends or your parents or somebody on your block. But please take the initiative and distribute at least one set of Srimad Bhagavatam for Bhadra Purnima. Thank you very much for considering my request, and may Lord Chaitanya shower you with his blessings. Hare Krishna.
So let me try at least. It is better late than never.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So at the end, you heard Srila Prabhupada saying, let me try at least. So we all can try to at least give one set of Srimad Bhagavatam. If each of us here can do that one set, it would be all auspicious. You see, the benefit is infinite. What you would do, it's just like, so I wrote here, it's like $275 for one set of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 18 books. And we can come to your home. We can order it today. Today is Bhadra Purnima. Please take this opportunity. You never know when will the next Bhadra Purnima come in our life or not. We never know that. But this opportunity came by the blessings of Lord Sri Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Jai.
So everyone can, if they have desire, they can obtain this book, see Damodar Krishna Prabhu and others. It's $275 for 18 books, which is pretty relatively cheap. And the books you can hand down to your kids, their kids, their kids, their kids. So it's everlasting. It won't deteriorate. So please take today and make your life successful by doing it. Let's go ahead and stand, and then afterward I think Prabhu can come by, and no pressure. If you want to get, you can get. Okay? Let's stand up and do kirtan, chanting the names of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Gol, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो। नमः नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणे नमस्ते सती देवे वाणी प्रचारिणे पश्चात्देश। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे हरे Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Gora Hari, Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari. Sacinandana Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Nitai Sacinandana Gora Hari, Sacinandana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai, Nitai, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. जय श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवान की जय। नितल प्रश्न जयम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाज का राष्ट्रस्मत अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति विदन स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय। नितल प्रश्न जयम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाज का राष्ट्रस्मत भक्ति सिद्धांत श्री ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। षड गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की जय। प्रेम से को जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। नामचर श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवान की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। श्रीमान नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्टसिक वृंद की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा महारानी चक्र संजू की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा द्वारिका धाम की जय। गिरिराज भगवान की जय। स्वावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। इस्कन समस्त आचार्य गुरु वृंद की जय। इस्कन समस्त आचार्य गुरु वृंद की जय। मध्याह्न आरती की जय। मध्यान्ह जगदानकारी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। भाद्र पुण्य महामहोत्सव की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ऑल गोलिस्ट हरे कृष्ण। ऑल गोलिस्ट हरे कृष्ण। ऑल गोलिस्ट गुरु एंड गौरंग। ऑल गोलिस्ट प्रभुपाद की जय।
Prabhu, would you bear from you? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shanitai Sachindev ki jai. Shri Prahlad Maharaj Lord Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai. Devinda Devi ki jai. Shri His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Patita Pavan ki jai. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you all doing? You're enjoying a respite from the heat wave? Could we always be worse? You could be in India where it's like boiling hot. So along with the hot comes the cold. Okay, announcements and upcoming events. Anyone here for the very first time? Marilyn's here for the first time. So do you live in Hillsborough or Portland? Portland. So I forgot to ask you what brought you here. I mean, what piqued your interest? Somebody advised you to come or just decided?
I'm exploring my spirituality.
Wonderful. We all are. Yeah. This life is meant for that. Thank you for coming. Anyone else here for the first time? No. Okay. Happy birthday and happy anniversaries to all of you that have had anniversaries and birthdays with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you. And then next. Okay, Sunday schools are started today. And then you can register your children. And then I think Mother Mataji is going to say something. Can you provide your kind attention? You know, for most of you that have kids, the kids are kind of like essentially your guardians for them. So she's going to speak something very important. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna dear devotees. So welcome to all the kids. We started Sunday school today. I'm teaching Madhva class 4 to 7, myself and Kirtida Mataji. Make sure, and there ask your kids what they learn in the class. That way, you know, they'll recall and they'll remember, because kids tend to forget the things. So in my class, we did learn about the manners that we have to follow, the way we talk to our parents, we respect our elders, how we should treat them, plus the story of Gajendra. So once they are home, it's the bedtime story time. Ask them what they learned the story in the Sunday school, or what did they collected from today's class. So please play your part as well in that. And I'm not sure about what they did in Damodar and Madan Mohan. The respective teacher will be able to answer those questions. I'm here to announce the CPO thing. We do it every month, first week of the month, about child protection thing. And myself, Sarvashakti Mataji and Radhakanta Prabhu are the member of CPO. We are certified child protection officer. Most of the pujaris and the management is also certified. We care about your kids, and that's why we repeat these every time. Please make sure your kids are always safe. They are always with you. The 1 hour that they spend with us, we are responsible for their safety and well-being. Other than that, once they enter the your responsibility. Please don't leave them alone at any time. If they have to go to the restroom or they're walking in the hallway all alone, one responsible adult should be there, present with them. Kids, these are only for kids below 12 years of age. I think 12 and up, they know very well. Ask them if they see anything suspicious or anything that they encountered which is not appropriate. So we did had an incident in Janmashtami, which I want to make aware of you all. So there were 2 homeless sitting in the crowd, and they were not doing appropriate things. It was going on for a while now, and when the management was brought into notice, they immediately took action on that, and the police took care of it. But these are small things which we may ignore. Many people would have seen and they would have like, it's none of our business, you know, but they are your business, because you never know what that can turn up to. So make sure you keep your eyes, ears open all the time. Your kid should not run in the parking space at all, because we have a very small parking space, and when we are backing the car, I myself have faced, we can't see it behind. So hold their hands at all time when they are in the parking lot. When they are playing in the park, we have a small park here. One responsible adult should be there with them. If you are not able to be there with your kid, you assign someone whom you trust to take care of your kid for the certain amount of time. So this is our CPO, which like information that we want to provide. We have it pasted most of the place. I think for Janmashtami, we removed that poster for the child protection officer. If you want to join our team, if you have any question related to it, or if you want to improve the system, please feel free to join our team. Myself, Sarvashakti Mataji and Radhakanta Prabhu are happy to answer any question and are happy to welcome you as well. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you to the child protection team. So the most important thing is when your children are in the Sunday school, then you don't have to worry because the teachers will watch. When they're out of the Sunday school, whose responsibility is it? Whose responsibility is it? Right. I've seen too many little kids just wandering, like this little. That's not a good idea. The world is a little bit scary, so we'd rather you not lose your child, okay? It's serious, okay? So everybody all kids that are less than 12, when they're not in Sunday school, they should be accompanied by the parents. And the second thing, Mataji said, a very practical thing, when your children are doing Sunday school, they, like adults, want positive reinforcement, so you can engage them and ask them what they learned, and that'll give them enthusiasm, because at this age, they want to please their parents. So enjoy it while you can. Okay, next. So Damodar Krishna Prabhu can speak about, I think you spoke about Bhadra Purnima, so you can say whatever you feel is important.
Hare Krishna. So any one of you is inspired to take a Srimad Bhagavatam set, please reach out to me or any of the temple devotees that you're seeing over here. It is very auspicious. Today is that day. Today is Bhadra Purnima. So, and there is an eclipse as well. So if you're worried or if you're not worried, or if you are happy, if you're not happy, please consider gifting a set to either yourself or to others. Hare Krishna.
So it's if the volumes are daunting to you, like there's all these books, that's okay. You can just take your time, read one verse a day, and cultivate that understanding of love of God and relationship with Krishna on your own pace. $275 sounds a lot, but when you factor it over a year, that's less than $1 a day. So you can, I think most people can afford that. Please take it, and then you can hand it down to your kids. People leave in their wills, I want this amount of money, this house, this car to go to somebody. You really want the Bhagavatam to go to your kids and family members, because that will outlast anything material. So please take up advantage. Is any show of hands of anybody who's interested in picking up a Bhagavatam set today? I see Manasi Ganga Mataji raised her hand. So Bhagavatam set from Manasi Ganga Mataji. Anyone else? Sorry, Mataji. She probably has several of them. Anyone? Okay, so next. Today's Sunday feast was sponsored by Mahesh Prabhu. We mentioned last week for his mother's birthday, and Ashish Prabhu for your own birthday? It's on 10th of? Okay. Okay, good. Congratulations. You're getting a sponsor for your own self. That's wonderful. Take care of yourself first and seek Bhagwan's blessings. So anyways, Bhoga sponsorship, flower sponsorship is here. Loud Hari Bol for Mahesh Prabhu and Ashish Prabhu for Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, and then their upcoming temple gift shop is Anu Mataji here. I saw her come. Hare Krishna Mataji. So Mataji has a gift selected out for you, saris, lengas, dhotis, kurtas. She knows exactly what you will look good on you. So go in there and encourage her.
We got new inventory, so we have a lot of new saris, lehengas, dhotis, kurtas, dresses. Please visit the shop.
So there are a lot of things that have arrived from India, like traditional and beautiful items. I'm sure ladies can always use a new lehenga or sari, and Prabhus can probably use some new dhoti kurta. And kids, there's items for the children too, yes? In there, so please take. Special booth today in the temple hallway. So you're out here. So Mataji is here with items for you to obtain. Okay, next. Srila Prabhupada Leela. So today, like Damodar Krishna Prabhu said, is actually the sannyas initiation day of Srila Prabhupada. So please listen to Srila Prabhupada Leela.
Hare Krishna. So today I wanted to share a portion of a lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave in December 1966. It really shows what it means, what it means to execute loving devotional service on the absolute platform. I wanted to share this today because it seems as though my Rath Yatra parade walking days are behind me due to bad knees. So we can also think of Krishna and think of doing service, and it's on the absolute platform. So Srila Prabhupada says, so if you adherently be always engaged in some sort of service, 24 hours in the service of the Supreme Lord Krishna, in Krishna consciousness, there is no power in the world who can drag you into this sense gratification province, that's this world. You at once become nirguna. This is the process. So we have to stick to this principle. How can I serve Krishna always, always? If you cannot do, if you simply think, how can I do? How can I do? How can I do? Simply this, if you practically cannot do, but if you simply think that, how can I do? Oh, then also you become liberated. This also you become liberated. And what to speak of when we actually serve. This is such a nice thing. Krishna consciousness. So, if you want to save yourself from this material turmoil, then always stick to this Krishna consciousness persistently. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you very much. So, we'll just quickly show, we announced last week those that sponsored our Sri Krishna Janmashtami, the businesses, so that we can return the favor for them, because they sponsored funds for us to have Janmashtami. So I'll just read out their names rather than their businesses. You can read as well as I do. These are the supporters: Krishna Raghupati Prabhu, Gopal Swami, Gokul Gopal Swami Prabhu, Enfos Tech, V5 Sports, Northwest Women's Clinic, A1RM, Umashri Satya Shekharan, Maruti Kati Thai, Brian Cavalieri, Manam, Blooming Orchid, Prashanti Fashions, Golden Elixir Ghee, Neha Dugali, Priyanka Bharuga, Regina Anantam, PDXA1, Smita, and Ramya Sugumaran. So we want to loud Haripol for these sponsors. Hare Krishna. Please try to support them as well, okay? Hare Krishna. And I think we'll have Prasadam prayers. Who wants to chant Prasadam prayers? You want to?
Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasanai Vijayate Sharira Bhidyajal Jodindriya Tahekal Jive Phale Vishaya Sagare Tarmadha Jivati Loboy Masudurmati Take Jetha Kathin Shamshare Krishna Boro Doyamoy Kori Bare Jiva Jai स्वप्रसादन्न दिलो भाई सेयनामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे दाको चैतन्य निताई जय निमाई जय निताई जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे